think I just learned the word in Japanese for championship.
Oh.
It sounds
Nice.
Yeah, I like
No huddle time. Cowboys take their high-flying offense to Mile High to face the wake-up. It's the fourth quarter Broncos. Denver, without Dre Greenlaw, got suspended, but still, the Broncos are 3.5-point favorites. Who do you trust more in this game, the Broncos or the Cowboys?
Go ahead, bro.
That's a great question.
Thanks.
It's clear. No, it's strength on strength, right? Like, great offense in Dallas, great defense in Denver, poor defense in Dallas, poor offense in Denver. So this is tough because the Cowboys, I mean, they let everybody down with that performance against Carolina. And on the road, they haven't been great. That loss was on the road. They scored, 14 points in the loss at Chicago. So all of a sudden, that high-flying offense kind of was grounded on the road in some of their games. But I'm going to go with Dallas. Huh? Like, I know I'm running the risk of eating my words, but I feel like that offense is just so high-powered that I'm going to trust them. I kind of trust them more than I trust Denver's offense to keep up with them. Mm-hmm. I don't know that they'll run roughshod over Denver's defense, but I'm going to go with trusting Dallas more because I don't know if Denver can score with them.
I'm on the opposite end of it. Obviously, like you said, it is strength on strength, but I trust the Broncos because of their defense and because of what I know that they have the capability and have proven to do in the fourth quarter offensively. The one thing that I know the Dallas Cowboys struggle with is stopping the run. Mm-hmm. And against the Denver Broncos, if you can't stop the run and Bo Nix, you allow him to have any type of momentum, you're going to have problems. The Cowboys, I love their offense. CD, obviously, George Pickens. But when you got a player like Benito who can get after the
great, and Cooper's been great.
And then you have someone in the secondary that they have, like Pat Surtain, it is hard. It is hard to get things going because the defense of the Denver Broncos are meant to disrupt what you do from the snap immediately. And they can do it better than anyone in football, and they have done it better than anyone in football. They already played one of the hottest offenses, one of the best offenses in all of football in the Colts, and they kind of stifled them a little bit.
I like to see it. That's smart.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying what he's doing now is smart.
Yeah.
Oh, building the Colts up.
Like
just
baking some
layer
Colts,
that
and then just like add a little bit more. You can just.
So listen, I think the Broncos have a great defense. Do you guys think the Cowboys can get to 20?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Then the Cowboys are going to win. You get to 20 against Sean Payton and Bo Nix, you win. We can show it to you. 2-8 when allowing 20, and one of those two is last week's miracle.
Right.
And so they were a Brian Dable brain freeze away from that being 1-9. And I know they have been dominant, and it's amazing that in the last year and a half they have 15 instances of allowing less than 20, and they're 13-2. That's how good the defense has been. And I know, Greg, sometimes you think some of my team skepticism is too facile because it's like, I don't really trust the quarterback and I trust the other team's quarterback. But this is a huge quarterback trust discrepancy. You have Dak, a 10-year vet playing the best ball of his career, against Bo Nix, who has struggled mightily. And it's not as if it's like, okay, he struggled at the beginning of the year, but has gotten better. Some of his worst games have been the last couple weeks with great endings. And I'm not taking it. He really did play unbelievably in that fourth quarter this past weekend. But the week before, he played bad all four quarters against the Jets. And if we show you Dak versus Bo Nix, the numbers are obviously about as jarring as you would expect them to be. And so I feel like the Cowboys are just as close to a lock for at least 24 points as any team in the league. We talk about that Panther game. They still scored 27, and all of a sudden it's like, Carolina? Not terrible, 4-3. So I trust the Cowboys more on Sunday. I like the Cowboys plus the points. I might even like the Cowboys to win outright, but that's not my.
Oh, I forgot. He has something
the
here.
prediction of the month.
Prediction of the month. Sneak it
A
in
new
under the
segment?
wire. Prediction. Yeah, new segment.
Prediction of the month.
Is it? Oh, wow.
Yeah, we've been doing this segment. Privately.
Brandon Aubrey is going to set the record for longest field goal in NFL history in this game.
Oh, wow.
Mile high, perfect weather. The Cowboys, I think, will give him the opportunity.
End of the half or something?
I think within the flow of play they might try it. I could see Aubrey getting an opportunity at a 70-yarder. I think you're going to hear during the broadcast.
Wow.
Here's Brandon Aubrey in warm-ups hitting from 74 yards. and we're going to see that target field goal line. We're going to be like, is that at midfield? Is the target line at midfield? And so,
that's a good prediction.
mile high, great weather. I think which kind of adds to my confidence in Dallas. I think that they are going to be within field goal range after 2 first downs. And any time that with the new kickoff rule and with this stadium and that kicker, so I just think they're going to be able to get points.
That's a good one.
Prediction of the month.
Prediction of the month.
Bills touchdown favorites in Carolina Sunday at 1 on Fox. Josh Allen versus Andy Dalton's the quarterback matchup. Let's look at the defensive matchup. I know that traditionally the Bills have this great defense, but check out Carolina.
Yeah.
Their defense
Solidly
has been better.
not bad.
Yeah, it's been better than Buffalo.
What would a third straight loss mean for Buffalo, bro?
It would not make me think they're not going to make the playoffs. I still would think they're definitely making the playoffs, but I would think they're making it as a wild card.
Oh.
And that would be a
Thank you.
tip of the hat to your boys in New England. And it also would make me think, okay, they're going to make the playoffs as a wild card. They're not getting to the Super Bowl.
No, season's over basically. The rest, Bob. That means the game.
Yeah, I mean they're not going. I mean, this is their schedule, and I'm sure Nick knows. We could probably put it up. The next game is Kansas City. Now I know they've beaten them in the regular season. I wouldn't think they're going to beat them again if they lose to Carolina, but we'll see. Then you got the Dolphins. Then Tampa. You got the Steelers. You got New England again, which they probably will win instead of getting swept by them. But then Philadelphia. So, I mean, they've got some games they probably will lose. So, again, I think they'll still make the playoffs, but it would just tell me they're not a great team. And they have to figure out, like, are they going to, they became elite again when they took the ball out of Josh's hands as far as throwing it 35 times a game. Now their offense is very pedestrian. So are they going to let him air it out?
They do.
At the risk of having some interceptions? And that defense isn't phenomenal.
Tell me if you, right, but that's why I think they have to air it out, because the defense isn't phenomenal. And tell me if you agree with me, Greg. All interceptions are not created equal. Some of Josh's problem was not just the volume of interception. It was week one against the Jets after Rodgers tears his Achilles, where the only way you can lose is you turn the ball over a bunch, turns it over 3 times. One of the games against one of the bad Pats teams.
That's why we won.
Right.
He gave it to us.
And so that's different than, and I'm not trying to play favorites, but a lot of the interceptions Baker threw last year, where it's like, hey, we're going to be in these shootouts. I'm chucking it downfield. I'm going to try to get 2 or 3 touchdowns a game, and I'll give you 1 pick a game, and we think it'll even out. I think the Bills currently don't have a high enough caliber defense, Greg, to just be like, we're going to play super conservative. Basically, we're going to try to have the Chiefs game plan last year. You know what I mean? Short little passes, low scoring, take care of the football. And so I think they have to put the ball back in Josh's hands in that regard.
I agree 100%. Like, how crazy is it? Like, can we put up the Bills schedule, please?
Yeah.
That we're talking about the Bills potentially losing 3 straight games to the Patriots, the Falcons,
and the Panthers.
Yeah.
Like, this is when
with the Chiefs on deck.
Yes, exactly.
Well, then the Chiefs would.
With the reigning MVP of the National Football League, and you're telling me you're going to dial it back? No. To your point, let him be who he is. That's the only way.
There's a lot of reckless picks thrown.
The thing about it is, I don't even think the picks have been reckless. Like, there was times, and I'll add to Nick's point, like in the red zone, he threw bad picks. Like, that's not what he's doing anymore. But when you allow a quarterback to carry this amount of pressure and weight, and he's carried you guys to the point of, where he can't carry you anymore, but I'm MVP caliber, you can't go in reverse. You can't dial it back with that person. Like, you got to allow them to be whatever they need to be in order to get wins. And the only way we're not talking about this is if they choose to do that and let Josh Allen be special.
And listen, I think you clearly can, because they did dial it back, if it's working. You know what I like? When things are going well, when you're like, hey, we are talented enough that we're just going to play a lower variant style.
But defensively, they were better.
Exactly, that's my point. But now you're on a losing streak. The defense isn't as good. KW, can I turn this question on its head just a tiny bit?
Yeah, but then I have the take of the month.
Oh, okay, go ahead. You go first.
Take of the month?
Yeah.
I'm an old guy. Talking to my old guy buddy. My old guy buddy's like, I ran a marathon, or I did this. I'm like, shoot, if you could do that, I could do that. That's how old guys think. Not when you're young. It's just like, all right, you're strong, whatever. Old guys like, it's just a matter of willpower at this point, because I'm old and washed. Andy Dalton, watching Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers throw the ball around last week, he's like, shh, let the red rifle get in there, throw the ball around a little bit.
To who, man? He doesn't have Chase and Higgins. He has Tet McMillan and Xavier Legette.
Are they not good?
They're not Chase and Higgins.
Well.
And Andy Dalton is not Joe Flacco. And Joe Flacco's been better than Andy Dalton always.
I'm saying it's on the board. Andy Dalton has an excellent game against this Bills defense.
Okay, can I?
I like Nick's prediction.
Yeah, it's definitely not take of the year.
Silver medalist.
Take of the month. Can I just put the question to you before we move on quickly?
Yes.
Because you are quietly
a Bills truther.
Truther, I don't think we're there. Skeptic at the moment. Truther assumes like you have the monopoly on what's correct on this. I think it's up in the air who's right on
They
this.
just beat the Saints,
I get it, right.
And Jets, that's it.
But is this fair? And the Ravens.
The Ravens.
Aren't good.
That's fine. But you think the Panthers are kind of good.
Frisky.
Yeah. If the Bills put it on them in Carolina, will that mean anything to you?
Not really.
Exactly. I knew it. I knew it.
It wouldn't mean anything to anybody.
I knew it. So this is a
Drop game.
This is a no win.
After a
no
bye.
win for the Bills.
First home game in almost a month for New England. Drake has feasted on some lackluster defenses, Titans and Saints. But now Vrabel says, this is a good test against the Browns. Okay. Is anyone expecting a huge game from Drake May?
I'm not. And I'm curious where you land on all of your who have the Bills really beat skepticism at the door of what defenses has what. Well, hold on. Same with the Bills. You just did a whole thing about the Bills' 4 wins being against bad defense, being against bad teams. Drake May, who you are every week, you turn the Mountain and Bruce Ballot into your own little Drake May soapbox.
That's not me, that's Josh. I thought as good as Tom Brady.
Here are the defenses Drake May has played this year and what they look like. And what you'll notice is none of them are good.
Well, 1/6 of those is because Drake May puts it on them.
Oh, well, this is the same with the Bills.
Like if you have a bad outfit, but it turns out I picked out your shirt.
But it's only 1/6. And so you just told us how bad the Bills defense is. That's one of them.
That's because
how bad the
put it
Saints
on 'em.
defense is. The bad the Titans
Put it on 'em.
defense
They
is.
put it on
the
Titans too.
Steelers, the Dolphins, the Raiders, who we lost to. Steelers lost to as well. So would you agree this is the toughest defense he's faced?
Of course.
So I think it's totally fair to say the numbers could come down to earth this week.
I respect the Browns defense. I think this can be a nice, classic, gutsy Patriots win. I don't need to see
without a big Drake May game.
No, it could be even sub 200. I would be okay with it. I just don't think.
So you don't expect a big Drake May game?
I expect it in my heart, but I would be okay with a sub 200 game.
I'm glad you expect it in your heart, because that's probably the only place it's going to happen. Like, even with, I love that.
So only places is hard?
That means he's going to Drake May?
Look, I love that Vrabel said this, because he has firsthand experience being a consultant with this team, the Cleveland Browns, last year. He knows how to inform Drake May of everything that he's going to potentially have to see and be dealt with. Like, and even with that, we've seen the Cleveland Browns, if nothing else, they are going to make it challenging for you as an offensive unit. It doesn't matter who's under center. And so I expect him to be challenged. I expect everything that Vrabel said, them to disrupt the timing, them to get after him, to muddy the picture, if you will. Drake May is going to be fine because they have the better team, though.
Can I ask you the reverse question that Nick asked me? If Josh McDaniels just finds a wrinkle that he can exploit and all of a sudden Drake May's out here cooking, will you come on board the Drake May, I don't know, MVP train? What do you want to like?
I mean, he's been on Bruce Ballard the last 2 weeks.
Can he really impress you in this
He was second in MVP. What more do you want, KW?
I'll give you something.
Go ahead.
I said this week on Bruce Ballard, this is probably the last week Baker is up there. That's what I expect because his numbers haven't been tremendous this season. He's had these heroics at the end of games. Drake, if he cooked the Browns, that would be impressive. Joe Burrow had like 113 yards.
Yeah, what did J-Lo do?
Jared Goff, J-Lo were both sub 200. So, and they lost J-Lo. Lamar cooked them, but that's Lamar. So if he cooked the Browns, he would have a chance of really moving up my ballot.
I'm okay with an ugly win.
No.
We're getting a little high on our own supply.
Can I just make something clear? You think the
fine.
Patriots are better than the Bills,
Obviously.
yet the Bills blowing out the Panthers in Carolina would mean nothing, but the Patriots beating the Browns
We're
at
on a
home would mean
3-game
a lot.
win streak, though. We're Packers at Steelers. Aaron Rodgers revenge game? Not so fast. Not according to him. Okay, it's not a revenge game for him, according to Aaron Rodgers. Do you believe that, Greg?
I do believe him.
Wow.
I do. This is the one time that I honestly can sit here and say I do believe him, and here's why. When you are removed from a situation like he was, going to the Jets, then suffering an injury, it shifts your mind to something completely different. Is my career over? Like, I got to get back. And then he still spends another year not even focused on what that team is doing. You're watching that team, but you don't have to play that team. And then now you're with another organization that brought you in because they feel like you're kind of the missing piece. The last thing, because you've been so removed from what the Packers have been doing, I didn't have that luxury. I was in the division. So naturally, I'm still close to it. I see it every single week. I saw it every single week, rather. He didn't have to do that. Now, the competitor in him would love to win. He wants to win. And more so than even that, he wants to outperform Jordan Love. Right. He wants to outplay him and get the win and then kind of walk off, kind of give him a little wink. Like, that part of him, I'm sure he feels that way. But to have animosity towards the organization that he had a great amount of success, I believe that he doesn't. Now, individuals within the organization,
well, yeah,
that might be different.
Well, go ahead, Bruce. Sorry.
No, I think I agree with you for the most part. Like, I don't see it as a revenge game, right? And I know obviously they had issues within the organization. We remember the press conference where he called out the entire front office and defended all the players.
Everybody knows you have to FaceTime me.
Right. We remember that. I mean, we remember how upset he was that they drafted Jordan Love, and I think their relationship is fine, but still, he was upset about that. He was upset they wouldn't take a receiver in the first round his whole time there. Then almost as soon as he leaves, they draft a receiver in the first round. So I think there's some things he didn't like about the way it went there. But I agree with you. I don't think revenge game is probably the right word. But I do think, like you said, he wants to beat them. He wants to, put egg on their face, so to speak. So, but I kind of half believe him. I think he's I do think he's downplaying the game a little bit.
So listen, I don't think he sees the Packers logo and is like, I hate those. I think he sees the Packers logo and thinks of great memories and winning, throwing touchdown passes in the Super Bowl to Greg Jennings. I really do. But the Packers, every organization is just a collection of people. And I think there's a lot of the people within the organization that he does have animosity towards. And it is instructive with Aaron to, try to decipher his words given previous words and past statements. Going into that Jets game, week 1, he said he tried to downplay that game as well. And then after that game, he said this. We can play you the sound.
I was happy to beat everybody associated with the Jets.
I mean, and so I agree. I don't think he has any animosity towards players on the Packers. I think, and I give Aaron credit, and he has only said good things about Jordan Love, and it seems like he was as good as he could be to Jordan Love given the odd dynamic. But I think the management piece of it, and probably a little bit of LaFleur as well, this is a chip on his shoulder. The circled game of the season, even more so than the Jets game, is how I would read that to be.
So that's a great sound, but the time difference in the time frame is that was so fresh. That happened. He actually
months ago.
He spoke about wanting to come back to the Jets, and they were like,
"Way they made him fly out."
No, we don't want you. Whatever the case may be. So yes, you're going to feel that way when you're Aaron Rodgers and you play them week 1. It's fresh. It's the first opponent. It's top of mind. You want to stick it to them. Where I'm with him is, again, when you go back to the Packers, and if I have the luxury of knowing Brian Gutekunst, one of the nicest individuals you ever want to meet. One of the nicest. So it's hard to just maintain that level of, I can't stand this guy. You can feel that way because of how things played out. However, when you are removed from it for a while, you start to consider the other's point of view. When you're in it, I don't want to hear your point of view. I don't care. But now that he's been removed from it,
go ahead, KW.
I understand it.
KW, say what you're thinking.
Yes, please say it.
You want me to say it since you're supposed to be the nice guy?
No, because Greg is being a nice guy too, and it's Thursday. It's a nice Thursday on First Things First.
I
don't want to call. I ask.
Go ahead.
Who cares?
No.
I'm going to do it now. I was like, Greg, do you remember who was drafted before you in the NFL draft? And which was you're pretty removed.
Absolutely.
He's pretty removed. A long time ago. And you had a successful career.
Yeah, this guy can't stop talking about Chad Jackson.
And it wasn't like, glad you asked. There actually is a few guys. This guy's a nice guy. And then this guy. I'm like, Greg, why? You're far removed from it. I just still think it doesn't.
That's fair.
The flame may have dulled, but I think you can stir up the embers a little bit. Once Aaron Rodgers sees guys in Packers uniforms in Pittsburgh, he's like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is nuts.
See, I also feel like that plays into it as well. If it were back in Lambeau,
it'd be different.
I will feel slightly different because now you're going to be in the visitors' locker room. Right. You're going to see them coming out of your tunnel, all
parking spots.
all those things.
It's something.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.